Hello, fellow culture lovers. This is a worm bin. I got tired of paying for dirt and fertilizer. You know, some of those bags of potting soil are 15 bucks for a bag. So this is a worm bin, and you can see there's tons of worms in it right here, all over the place. There's worms in it. These worms were put in here, I guess last year or whatever, maybe a couple years ago, but there's like tons of them, see? And all you got to do is just dig down a couple inches and you got like billions of these little worms. So what I've been doing is I've just been coming out here in this worm bin, digging a hole. And I put all the dirt that I dug out in a couple of these bins here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over and I have a whole bunch of table scraps right here. These are the table scraps. There's a bunch of stuff like apples that are rotten, and kiwis, and orange peels, and peppers, and you know, carrot peels, and banana peels, and just the whole anything. I don't throw anything away. I put it in a little bucket. Then I take it out and I put it in the worm bin. Also, I like to put in, you know, any kind of leaves or things I clean up for my garden or patio. Whenever, like, you know, this plant here is sick, and so I'm going to destroy it, and then I'll just add this stuff back into this worm bin and mix it up, and we'll have reconditioned soil so we can grow things. And I just take this stuff, all dead leaves and these leftovers. So I put coffee grounds and old tea bags and even the coffee filters themselves, and it looks like I got some cereal in here and spinach and just a bunch of celery junk. A lot of coffee grounds here. That's coffee grounds. Then I cover up all the stuff with the dirt I dug out and put in here. Here's one of these little guys here. They got stuck. And you see there's just the whole thing is just peppered with worms, and there's other kind of little critters in here too. Some pretty ugly ones. Heck, I don't even know what they are, but I guess if they're eating this junk and pooping it out, then we get fertilizer. So this is mostly, in this bin here, this is mostly just stuff that these worms have gobbled up and pooped out. And I don't usually put any dirt or anything in here. Some of the things I've seen talk about putting newspaper and all that, and I tried that and I don't see how it makes any difference. I do put peat moss in the bottom sometimes. I guess you can see this melon here is in the dirt and wonder why it's in the dirt. I was getting ready to make up some little lunch packs to go on a picnic today, and I chopped open this melon and it was rotten on the inside. So normally people will just take it and throw it out in the trash can. You know, they take all your trash that you put in the green bins and they turn it into fertilizer, and then they sell it back to us. You can go down there and buy a bag of their dirt for, you know, $4 or $5. This melon's still valuable even though we're not going to eat it because it's bad. So I got this worm bin here, you know, and I like to garden, and you know, I grow some things that are kind of neat. And you know, I just have like stuff in pots. This thing's just a weed that I found growing in the field. And we got some flowers, and I have a fish tank here and I'm growing stuff inside it. And all this soil comes from worm bins. And so what we're going to do with this melon is we're just going to throw it in this hole here. And you can see that we'll cover it up And also I have a little bit of table scraps. There's some coffee grounds and apple cores and banana peels and the like. And I'll just throw it in there with the melon, and in about 1 week the worms will have eaten it all up and pooped it out, and we'll have some really good soil that if you try to buy in the store, it's like, God, I think it's like 10 bucks a pint or something. They really charge you a lot for it. And these bins have a lot of holes in them for drainage and air. So I put holes all around these things. So I don't know really how much soil I have in here, but I have 15 bucks a bag for that box farm or whatever it is. I don't know what the heck they call it, which is pretty good soil, and I buy it once in a while if I want to make sure that I don't have any worms or anything in my soil. For some reason I want to make extra sure I don't have like some cuttings or worms will go over and eat the cuttings. Anyway, so this works. These things have been going. Worms I picked up a couple of years ago. Some of them I picked up off the street, you know, after a rain early in the morning. And I actually bought some worms at the fishing store, little red worms. And they seem to do the best, little red worms. The night crawlers don't seem to do as well. But if I see them laying around in the street, sometimes there's like 50 of them in the street, I pick them up and throw them in there, which I haven't done that for quite a long time. I'm really not interested in picking up worms every day. But I am interested in having good soil. And the better your soil is, the neater the plants you get. This is just a weed here that I picked up, this hanging plant. I put it in this hanging bucket. And it's just a weed I picked up over in the field near where I live. And I strung a piece of rope and it's just climbing up the rope. And here's a cutting I took from that thing. And here's a bunch of cuttings I put into this little fish pond I got. These are all wild fish and just cuttings I got. And I actually have some of that soil underneath this gravel here. And so it works pretty good. Some of these things are really actually pretty neat. Look at this one here. This is pretty cool. I'll get some more pictures of it in sunlight. This is just like one freaking bud, just a little tiny speck. For some reason these guys started to bud. This one over here is kind of like sick. I don't know what's it. This is pretty cool. Now these guys here are the guys you got to watch out for. See that guy right there? See what he's doing? He'll munch on that thing until he's good and wrecked. Then he'll wrap one of these leaves up around him and cocoon himself. So these guys here, oh, he's really holding on tight. These guys here are the enemy and they will destroy. So you shouldn't feel bad about taking these guys over here to the fish tank and dropping them in so that the fish can eat them. Pretty cool, eh? So these plants are providing food for my fish. You gotta be careful because they really gobble up stuff. It's not cool. Look at this little guy here, man. He's pretty neat. That's like solid. This one here is like purple. I mean purple. The hairs on it, I don't know why. It's something to do with the soil. I tried to look it up on YouTube and it has something to do with the soil, so. These other ones are just clones I got. This is a clone I made. That one was from a seed. I found a seed somewhere and I just planted it, and it seems that all the ones you grow from seeds are 100 times healthier. So this fig here, we put that worm stuff in it, and man, it really took off. It's like really cool. Look how big the leaves are. I mean, they're like giant. These may be a worm.